Joining me with further details are my guests, Lechala Wilson, president of San Diego's chapter of the NAACP, and Ben Kelso, president of the San Diego Black Police Officers Association. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Lechala, why do you think this tragic shooting has galvanized the attention all throughout the nation?
It's galvanized attention because this was a tragic shooting when you had an unarmed young man who was African American, and as far as the witnesses have told us, his hands were actually up in the air. And that's why it started with the saying, hands up, don't shoot. And then it follows other tragic shootings. And I think with Ferguson, with the mix of that population where it's 70% black, but then yet the police force, out of 53 officers, there's only 3 that are black. And I think it was just a symptom of a long-term problem that's come to head. And they're not going to back down. They want justice. And also because of the fact it appears that the officer or the chief withheld information, and what they wanted was the officer identified, they wanted him arrested, they wanted him held accountable, and justice to be served.
So that's some of the attention of the nation. But Ben, you're a black police officer. Do you have some conflicting feelings about this situation?
Well, it certainly needs to be said that that an incident like this and a death involving law enforcement is tragic. This situation is a tragedy. However, it's also important to realize that there is a process and not to rush to judgment on what the facts that have led to the incident are. I think the law enforcement in that area has a responsibility to thoroughly investigate the incident and determine at that point what their next moves will be in regards to the officer and in regards to the public. I think that it's really important for law enforcement around the nation to also watch this incident take place and unfold and talk about it amongst their own agencies to determine what is the best learning points to take out of a situation like this.
Well, San Diego Police Department's Chief Zimmerman released a public service video earlier this week on racial profiling here in San Diego. Let's take a look.
The San Diego Police Department does not and will not tolerate any racial profiling or discourteous treatment by any of our officers or employees. If you feel there is a problem, we want to know about it. There are many ways you can report any concerns that you have. Let's all work together to make sure we continue to foster the highest standards of community trust. Thank you for the privilege and opportunity to serve you.
Lechala, there were phone numbers on that. Do you think that the community here, the black community here, will respond to the police chief's call to use this number and report incidences of what they believe to be racial profiling?
If they do, it'll probably be in small numbers because, again, they're calling the police department, and that's the department that they do not trust. And I think there needs to be alternatives where people, can report racial profiling. I know our branch gets a lot of phone calls, and I know the ACLU also has a number for people to call.
Let me ask Ben about that. Do you think the community will respond to this?
I believe that the community will respond. Whether or not they'll respond in significant enough numbers is yet to be seen. I think we're certainly going to have to find any way we can to make sure we open up better lines of communication with the community and build the community's trust using the best practices for accountability, transparency, and so on.
Well, last year there was some criticism against the police department by local groups who said they were being racially profiled. What is the Black Police Officers Association stand on this?
The Black Police Officers Association in San Diego is a local chapter of the National Black Police Association. As a local chapter, we follow the same stance as our national organization. We are anti-racial profiling. We stand in unison as black law enforcement organizations to speak out against the practice of racial profiling and to promote dialogue and discussion with law enforcement and the community on how to deal with those issues.
Lechala, what's the NAACP doing to foster community involvement as far as getting better relationships with the police department?
When I started my term, this is my 3rd term, I reached out to the San Diego Black Police Officers Association. So far, we have done two community forums, which I titled Close Encounters of the Cop Kind, but it was actually a way to teach the community to know what their rights are. And that's what's part of the problem is that the community doesn't know what their rights are, and they need to understand that.
LaCharlotte Wilson and Ben Kelso, thank you so much.
Thank you.